to these young mothers, you know, and I too was a young mother too, and I too was selfish, and I too was ignorant. However, there's a time that you have to evolve from that. You need to go if it's better for the child to be with the grandparent, let the child be with the grandparents. We're not trying to stop you from seeing your son or your daughter, but I've been having her since she was for 4 years now, you know, and it's like something it just don't make no sense.
Right. And the thing that y'all should be thinking about when dealing with these children is not about you. It's in family court. It's always about the best interest of the children.
The best interest of the
So
children.
that's what the family court judges are looking at, the best interest of the children. So if the child has been with the grandparent for several years and you're in and out, that's not a stable situation. So you want your child to be in a stable situation.
My question is there's even if there's evidence that let's say I'm not trying to just jump on any female issue, and I'm just trying to be fair, but you hear these stories. You hear these stories when you have a female who's not particularly responsible, and she uses that whole notion of child support for, let's say, the person who's paying the child support to her is a working and employed individual, and using the issue of having children with that person to make their life somewhat miserable. Now, I don't know if any court or any judges take that into account when someone is doing a lot of, let's say, things to annoy a person who's actually trying to do the right thing and pay the child support, meaning a man. So how do you navigate that to the legal system? Because, you know, a judge is going to say, well, that's personal stuff. But the legal stuff on paper, that's what they go by. But if a person is acting up and using child support to control a person, that the court has to take that if there's evidence to show that, you know, and information from family members.
I mean, it definitely would be something that the attorneys, or if you represent yourself, which I don't recommend that you represent yourself, but that's something that the judges definitely take into account. But as far as child support, a person can't just keep going in and out of court trying to get increases in child support. I know if it's with the state, I think every 3 years that they automatically look at it to see if there can be a modification of it. But there has to be a material change in circumstances and a material change in the income. So if you're making the exact same income that you made last year, there's no reason to even waste the court's time with that, trying to see if you can get an increase.
Mm-hmm. And I know a good case. One brother, he had been paying his child support, and from the beginning of time, daughter is 10 years old, and now he's getting ready to get married to someone else. His fiance said, "Look, let's just do a DNA." He said, "No, I'm not doing no DNA. That's my daughter. She the spitting image of my mama. She the spitting image of my grandmother. I'm not doing no DNA. That's my daughter, you know." And so because the baby's mother was so intense of being so greedified, she took in his fiance. I mean, which now she was his wife. She said, "Look, I'm going to go ahead and I want a DNA." Right. Done the DNA, and the DNA test came back 99.9% not your child. That's right. Now the entire family. First, the little girl thought that was her daddy. That was not her daddy. All the family. He's distraught. But like he said, you know, that's still his daughter. He's going to continue to do it. But when you have vindictive women, and we could be vindictive at times. Y'all taught us well, men. And when you have vindictive women, that's where it comes in at.
We have a caller?
Yes, call.
Okay, so while we waiting on that caller to call back, you absolutely right with that. And on the flip side of what I was talking about earlier about going back and forth to court, and you can't just request the increase and there's not a change in the monetary situation. So I've seen a lot of situations where men might get laid off from work or something like that, and the child support order continues. If y'all have a change like that and you get laid off from work or something like that, you need to put that before the court. You need to request a modification, a decrease in the child support based on you being laid off. Here's what's going to happen if you don't. It is going to continue, and you can't come to the court a year or two later and say, well, I was laid off during that time. You put nothing before the court. So there's still a court order and you will still owe that money. We have a caller?
Yes, caller, you have a question or a comment? You're on, ma'am.
This question is for a friend of mine. He has visitation for his daughter, and when he has visitation, he goes and he pick up the little girl. But lately, the little baby mama, she goes on a job and leaves the little girl there and threaten him with calling the people, say he don't want to mind his daughter. He tries to work, and that usually happen on a Friday and Saturday, where he try to make extra money on the job working overtime. But lately he hasn't been able to do that because she drops the little girl off, and she said, well, if you don't want to mind him, I'm going to call so-and-so and tell him you abandoned your daughter. Just being threatful. And he wants to know what he could do about that.
So there's a court order that it sounds like it's some weekend visitation, and what you're saying is on some of those weekends he's trying to make some extra money.
She does that during the week when she has to go somewhere with her girlfriends, and she want him to take the little girl, but he's trying to make money for the little girl and himself.
So
and
is it his time?
He can't do that with her popping up at the job all the time, wanting him to take care of the baby.
Yeah, so that's a problem, and that's what I was trying to figure out. If that is not his time per the court order to have that child, he's under no obligation to take the child if he doesn't want to. They have something here in Lafayette Parish that they put in the custody judgments. It's in the joint custody implementation plan, which is this order that talks about right of first refusal, all of these different things. So if it's something like that and she's offering the right of first refusal and he's saying no, okay, he has the right to say that. And if that's not on his time, if that's on time that she should have the child, she can't make him take that child and then try to use that against him.
Yeah, that's what she tries to do, use it against him, say he doesn't want to take care of his responsibility, which he is. Because he said, he needs to work at overtime to get, ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that's nothing for him to worry about. If that's not his court order time, he's under no obligation to take the child any additional time if he's trying to make some money.
Yeah, because she wants to go out on the weekend and leave the baby with him.
Well, that's the problem. Like, it doesn't go like that.
Okay, I'm going to let him know what you said.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Yeah,
And give out the...
I know it happens like that, Khadijah.
Yes, caller.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much. And give them the telephone number.
Okay,
All
I
right.
sure will.
Right.
Yeah, they do want to go out.
337-534-4020. Well, there's nothing wrong with them going
They
out.
want to go out and leave
You
the
can
baby.
go out, but you need to get
Leave
you a
the baby with the
babysitter.
man.
But
Yes,
you have
yes,
responsibilities.
yes. I know that. I heard that just recently.
Okay, caller, you have a question or a comment? You're on.
Yes, good morning to all of you, and it's a blessing, Sister Khadijah, to have you back on the air.
Yeah.
And I pray God you a speedy recovery.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
wanted to ask Attorney Dwyer, when will she be having or if she'll be having another program for succession for houses in the future?
I've been trying to get a succession program together. The issue is that the last one that I did with the Wills Clinic, I did it at my office. It was free to the public. I paid for all of this stuff, like tables. I had food, all of this stuff.
Sure did.
And it was nice, but I wish that the turnout would have been more. For a successions clinic, it's not going to be the same thing, because with the Wills Clinic, they literally left with a will in hand. With the succession clinic, you won't be able to leave with any pleading, so it's going to be more informational. So what I was trying to do is just get a location where it's not outside, where people can come inside and we can have different rooms set up with different attorneys. So I'm still trying to work on that. So unfortunately, I don't have a date on that right now, but I'm trying to get that together. If maybe we can.
Yeah, we're gonna work on it because.
But I will let y'all know. I'll advertise.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I was saying I'll let y'all know and I'll advertise when I do have it, though, like I always do.
Okay, thank you. I have one more question. We have a
ma'am.
young man that's been incarcerated since November. And when he goes to court, they say that they have no charges against him, but they still keeping him incarcerated. They've moved him twice from New Iberia to two different other locations outside of New Iberia. And he has to go back to court in August. And to the best of my knowledge, what the holdup is with him is his probation officer. So
Okay.
I don't know if there's anything, the person that's supposed to be his legal advisor, he has never seen her.
Okay, so that makes a lot of sense because that's what I was going to ask you. Was there some kind of hold or something? But what it sounds like is maybe they hadn't billed the case yet, and it's a waiting bill, which means that the prosecutor maybe was reviewing the case and trying to see whether or not they're going to bill it, and if they bill it, if it'll be what he was charged with, or if they're going to change the charges. So that's the first thing. So I don't know about that. He would need to get with his attorney about that and see if that's the situation. And then for the second thing, if there's a hold, so even if he went to court and if he got a bond reduction, he wouldn't be able to get out because it sounds like there's a probation hold. So it sounds like he had something before and he was out on probation, and because of these charges, he's now gotten revoked. So they're not going to release him, if that makes sense.
I don't understand it because if you and I know you're attorney, but if they say they have no charges against a person, how can they keep holding them with no charges? And the probation officer doesn't even come to court to give verification as to why he's being held. Nobody comes and says that.
So what it sounds like is he had a past case, and So let me. I'm trying to break this down like in simple terms. So he had a past case, and maybe he took a plea, and the plea was, and I'm just throwing something out there because I don't know anything about his situation. 1 year suspended, 2 years active supervised probation. But while you're on probation, you can't do anything else. You're not supposed to get another charge. So it sounds like he got a charge. And now he is backing up time. And what that means is, and I'm just saying, it sounds like this is the situation. I don't know anything about it. So when you're on probation and you get a new charge, you get revoked. And that means that you have to go and serve the time now that was over your head that was suspended because you violated your probation. Make sense?
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like is happening.
Okay. All right. Okay, I tell you what, will you be back next week again?
Yes, ma'am, I'll be here.
Okay, I'll try and get some more information.
Yes, get some more information.
I can get your number and let you know exactly what's going on.
Yes, ma'am.
And Attorney Dwyer number is 337-534-4020. Thank you.
Khadijah,
Okay, thank you. Y'all have a blessed day.
You
thank
too,
you,
Can I,
Attorney Dwyer.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I correct something? I want to correct it immediately. That is not a Trump-appointed judge. I was mixing apple and oranges, which I rarely do, Sister Khadijah.
Yeah, I know you rarely do that.
That state district judge Thomas Rogers threatened to toss several felony malfeasance count out against the two officers unless prosecutors this week correct certain defects in the language of the indictment.
Okay, so that sounds procedural.
Dismissal that would be effectively gut the case. So that's why we should be upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that sounds procedural. Based on what you just read, the judge basically is saying that your bill is deficient. You need to fix this. If you don't fix this, we can't proceed with it. So,
Well, even that's Attorney Belton. I think you know him, right? From district attorney. He actually recused himself on the side a little bit and got this other guy who's very notorious, who's supposed to be the person that acts all the time for the death penalty.
Yeah, that's the bull.
Because he was a bulldog.
Yeah.
And look how the case is going.
Look how it's going. And then you say that they're asking for more information and it's not clear enough.
That's what it sounds like from what he read. What he's saying is the judge said whatever they presented is not enough, is defective. So, in other words, they need to fix what's wrong with it. Or are you
And-
saying that he's going to dismiss it?
All right.
Read that again.
And if he fix what's wrong with it, it's not going to bring Ronald Green back to life. You know, that's dealing with the Ronald
Well,
Green.
these were two officers in particular associated with the cover-up, meaning one who basically told them to bury the report, and the meaning of what the bury could mean put it in the report where people might not see it, or get rid of it. And the other one was turning off his body cam footage, and they're saying that is not obstruction if he turned off his body cam. You know, that's what they argue.
Right. But that's what they're saying based off of what you read. We have a caller?
Yeah, caller. You're on.
Yeah, I'm glad y'all talking about this and not about the rappers, Jay, you and your boyfriend. But the thing is, they're trying to buy more time.
You mean, brother?
That's all it is, to try to get against the people and their words.
Kevin.
That's the problem with us today. We worry about all the other stuff about rappers and all this, but yet still these true criminals.
So you're saying
who are the
we
law,
can't have a talk show?
judges who break the law.
So you're
obstruct
saying we
justice.
can't have a talk show?
It's for them to
So
have
you're saying we
everything
can't have a
they
talk
want.
show?
Wait
So
a
you're
minute,
saying
Mr.
on
Kevin.
Thursday
let's-
when you do your talk show that you don't let nobody call in,
Well-
you're saying that I should not be talking. You the only person should be talking. But that's telling me you have a narcissistic Donald Trump towards attitude, meaning you know it all and nobody else knows anything. That's the only thing I could say. So you are in the business of criticizing the host, but you're not in the business of criticizing yourself. So, my brother, you are very hilarious, and you probably never going to get anywhere convincing anybody about how you feel if you're always saying the host don't know what they're talking about. And then you insult guests, and nobody insults you, my brother. So you don't make any really sense. Thank you.
All right. And on Mr. Kevin defense, there is none. You're not going to call no one on this show, and then you can call them if you want to, but we're not going to allow you to disrespect no one on the show. Now, if you want to call in at another different number, you want to call in, and ask a question where it seems like you're not screaming. Kevin, try debunk. We're going to do this the right way. We're going to do this the right way. Okay, so you're back on the line. Now, you want to say something and not throw slander, then that's fine. I mean, particularly at our host. Okay. Hello. Carly, you're on.
Hey, listen to me. Y'all doing a talk show. Stop being so insecure because people don't agree with
Try
y'all.
D, try
That's
D.
the problem with black people.
Try D.
I don't care if you criticize me or not. Show me the facts where I'm
Try
doing
D.
something wrong and I'll stop. All I'm
Well,
saying is the things
you
we
can do
need
it
to be
till
talking
the sky
about.
is blue. It
We're
ain't
not
gonna make
talking
no
about. We're worried
difference
about
because
rappers and
that's
putting
how
other
you-
people's in
That's how
big-
you do your show. You do your show because all you want to do is criticize the
All right.
host.
All right.
But
Thank
you got a show on Thursday, my brother. Do your show on Thursday. You're not satisfied with that? Come do this radio show over here, and I tell you what, I'll listen to you if it's something to be listened to.
So let me say something. So the problem is the first thing that was out your mouth was an insult. We don't have any issues with people having different opinions, but you have to be respectful about it.
And then let me say something. Like when I'm on my different segments, when I'm on my different, this is not going to be a Bow Wow type issue this morning. When I'm on my different segment, I may play like maybe an R. Kelly. You have callers, a couple of calls to call me. Well, why are you playing R. Kelly? R. Kelly is a pedophile. R. Kelly is this. I said, let me tell you something. And this is exactly what I tell them. I don't call you, or I don't go on your job to tell you what you can and you cannot do. Now, R. Kelly is no worse than Elvis Presley, but except Elvis Presley had a little bit of sense. He married his 13-year-old Priscilla. If anything, R. Kelly was a damn fool. And that's how we got to see that. A genius and a fool. And we got that throughout our entire history. So that's how I handle that. And I wanted to say that to you, Mr. Kevin. You make some good points. You make some great points. And you make some bad points. Do not attack my brother like that on the phone and around our listening audience, or I'm going to ban you. And I'm saying this, I'm going to ban you for life. Thank you. Now, where we was at?
Radio insurrectionists, and we had them in D.C. Now we got them on the radio.
Okay, so we have caller. You have a question or a comment?
Good morning. How you doing?
All right, yourself.
I want to congratulate y'all guys. I think y'all doing a fantastic job on the radio show. I'm here listening on Facebook Live right now, and and listening to the caller attacking y'all guys. I think y'all doing a fantastic job on the show, getting information out to people, and I wanna congratulate y'all guys and tell y'all doing a fantastic job.
Thank you so much. Okay.
No problem.
Thank you. Okay. Back to the discussion. You wanted to elaborate on that again? What the not the previous caller, what the other caller had.
Say, I forgot now.
Yeah.
With that whole debacle.
Yes, caller. You have a question or a comment? You're on.
Hi, I got a couple of comments. There's a lot going on today. So, with regard to the Ronald Green case, I believe that the charges were dropped on some of the people that were on the periphery of the case. Just to be clear, and to give a local example of what happens when we elect judges. We had Roger Hamilton that was elected as a judge here when he clearly violated the judicial ethics rules when he campaigned and he professed to be, he was against abortion. He did not want people to go ahead and protest. He's also was put up by Jeff Landry to run, and he got that seat. So we have very specific examples of local judges that were put in place that broke judicial ethics election rules, and they were never held accountable. So we've allowed these things to happen locally, and what happens when we do that is we get things like the Ronald Green case, where these people commit these crimes, they are put before the court, and the charges are just dismissed. The other thing that I have to say is that elections are coming up. Qualifying is August the 8th through the 10th. All Iberia Parish seats are up. The parish council, also the sheriff. So in 3 weeks, we need to find a candidate to run for sheriff.
Oh.
Also, we need candidates to run for parish council. So, I've heard of an example where some young person wanted to run for parish council, but the person that's in the seat contacted the young person and said, look, step aside, and then when I'm finished, I'll help you. That's undemocratic. That's un-American. Don't do that. It should be that we all participate. It should be a healthy competition. We should allow anybody to step up and see if they can't help and do a better job to represent the people. We are choking ourselves by not allowing decent people to compete for these positions. So again, 3 weeks, August the 8th through the 10th. It's $300 to qualify for a parish seat. We need a sheriff's candidate. It's $400 to, we need somebody to run against Marcus Bryant.
Oh, I wish I could have run against.
We need somebody to run against Bill Beaulieu. We need somebody to run for Fred Mills' seat, Senate District 22. We really need a lot of candidates. We got 3 weeks. I'll be glad to help anybody with the paperwork and stuff like that. Just reach out to me, Sister Khadijah. You got my number. We got 3 weeks. Let's get something done here and make some changes. That's all I got.
Yes. Okay. Another quick caller. Call it. I'm sorry. Caller, you have a question or a comment? You're on.
I have a comment. Good morning, Sister Khadijah.
Good morning.
And good morning to one of the best, brightest, most well-dressed attorneys in Southwest Louisiana and abroad, Ms. Dwazendra Smith. This is Shauna Sias.
Oh, hi, Shauna.
What's happening, sister?
My comment came in when the gentleman thought he would call and be disrespectful. That's when, about the comment about the music. I'm going to go ahead on and say right now, usually when people make those kinds of comments, is because they are not in touch or in tune with their surroundings. They have put themselves in a bubble or some kind of isolated capsule to where what's actually going on and affecting the community is not actually a realization to them. If they don't think rap music or any music has anything to do with behaviors, they're wrong. I'll give you an example. If Dwazendra, if you're feeling sad right now, and somebody throw on, do you remember the 21st night? You're going to get up and you're going to dance. You're going to move because you're now in a happy mood, right? Yes. Same as the opposite for the rap music and children. That those lyrics, they empower them subconsciously to want to do things that they wouldn't normally do under certain circumstances. If we don't, as a community, a parish, and even government and elected officials, start to realize that there is a serious gap between us old school and the new school, we're going to lose all of them. So to the gentleman who thought that it was all right to call and bash because of a difference of opinion, I don't know who you are, sir, and anyone listening who knows me historically can tell you I don't care. But what we don't do as black women, we don't allow anybody to call and check us about anything. Now, if you would like to call and have a conversation about something that you disagree with that we have said, we'll gladly be open to that. But all in respect and moderation. So you might want to request that the next time. But that's all I have to say.
Well, yes.
Thank you, Shauna. And I agree 1,000%.
And Shauna is one that's in charge of the bully box.
The bully box. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Listen, I want to go. This is initially what we talked about.
Right.
And here's the provision. It's a proposed provision coming up in the Louisiana legislature.
And we're talking about what, child support?
Child support. The proposed bill, and this might be troubling on one end, might be good for somebody else.
Right.
The proposed bill seeks to change the current child support laws by removing the $100 minimum payment requirement. Yet the measure proposes a different strategy by urging that child support be calculated as a proportion of the non-custodial parent income. Now, that's the crux of it. So they got some new laws coming down in the Louisiana legislative session. A lot of people don't know about these things, whether or not they could be good. And, you hear us rant and rave about child support, about the complaints people are telling us. So I don't know if you saw the crux of the argument about the new proposed law.
I did see it, and of course there's some pros and cons to that. Like there's pros and cons to everything. So right now, as the law stands, like you just stated, $100 is the minimum amount that you can pay for child support. Mm-hmm. So of course those that don't have any job at all, mm-hmm. of course their argument is, hey, I can't even afford $100.
Or they factor in when the think tank or the lobbyists or whoever, or being a little stricter on child support issues to help families, or they factor in the economic situation, especially in this state. We last in everything, when it's especially economic.
So that's the issue, and the proponents of it and people that are proponents without even knowing that they're proponents of it, that's the argument, is that they're not looking at it like that, because you look at other states, they do it a totally different way. They do percentages, which would make sense to some people based off of income, because if you do it by percentages, then you wouldn't have the same number for somebody that has a lower amount. It'll drastically change. So again, I mean, there's pros and cons to that, because here's a problem. If somebody doesn't have any money at all, okay, the child still needs to eat every single day. The child still has needs. It's a lot.
And then what really teased me off a lot about that situation is that we're looking with today's situation. We're not worrying about what happened in the past or anything like that. How do you think that we came across with our family members, some of our family members, having white children? They didn't just woke up and was pregnant by the spirit or anything, So, but y'all don't want to do no retroactive, Let's go back then with all of these, when these white men had the opportunity to go ahead and impregnate you, whether you wanted it or not. Let's go back and get some of those resources. You see, we're talking just today's issues, 20 years issues. But I know personally people that's in their 70s that's, I don't want to call them half and half because there's no such thing. But I know people like that wanting to, that say, well, I could never get nothing from my great grandfather, and look what he done, So I'm kind of torn behind that. However, those are the breaks. Caller, you're on. You have a question or a comment?
I have a question.
You're on, ma'am.
Oh, last night I heard them talk about the bill with the ankle monitor. Could she tell me a little bit about that bill? Because I didn't get the whole factual thing about it. Because I know the people have to pay for those ankle monitors.
Okay.
So could she tell me a little bit about that?
Do you know the bill?
Pertaining to the ankle monitor companies? All
I heard was there's a bill going through so where they could regulate where the person had and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was briefly. I don't have the whole.
Okay. I'm not familiar with that one, but I mean, I can just tell you generally how that works. So what happens is either ankle or wrist monitor, and I mean, it's pros and cons again to that, because so you'll be able to be released, but then you'll have to pay for this ankle or wrist monitor. Those cost, I want to say, about $300 a month. So, if you're just getting released from jail and you don't have any money to pay for
that's ridiculous. And you
Right.
see the one thing that we always missing. You see, politics is one of the most filthiest field in existence. But you have to have people that believe in God, people that are trustworthy, people that gonna stand the test of time. Caller?
Yes, and I have another. I got just a little information.
I'm listening. We listening.
Oh yes, the other night I was watching Free Speech TV.
Yeah.
And they did a documentary on a black police officer that was killed by 7 whites. And that happened around 1947, around that era.
Okay.
His bike hit the police car, and he said he was sorry, and they followed him down the road, and they beat him to death, and then tried to cover up that information. They then charged them, but what they did was give them a change of venue to another all-white town, and they got off scot-free for killing this black man.
Well, you know what?
So I say that's been going on.
Yep, it's been going on, and today they just cover it up a little bit. You take, for instance, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, they claiming that the race riot did not do any type of jeopardy to the thousands. It was about 1,300 people that was killed in that race riots. Y'all gonna just all of a sudden, the Klansmen, y'all just get together and say, well, let us go ahead and kill and rape and destroy, and nobody is held responsible for it? That's generational wealth. What type of judge in his right mind would go ahead and say, well, I'm not affected by that. You're not affected by that. Okay, well, then the other side shouldn't be affected by that. And that's why we got to get good people in these offices that can stand the test of time.
That's what we were saying earlier this year when I was talking about Attorney Smith, and I was bringing up how many new laws being advanced in the Louisiana legislative body. And this election season, we should have a litmus test of questions we're going to ask the people that we're going to elect to know what we're going to be dealing with. Because like it or not, even if you get callers who say ignore the system, drop out, don't vote, don't participate, think about it. The same people calling and telling you that they'll abide by these laws when they don't run no red light, when they go and register and get a Louisiana driver's license, when they have to pay the insurance. They're not gonna break the laws, but they're easily telling you to drop out and not participate. So pay attention in Baton Rouge to what is going on. So you can't be a hypocrite on one end, tell somebody not to do something, but you still being part of that same system.
Well, that is the truth, and I concur with you on that. But there was a law where black folks was like 3/5 of a person. All right, so every law is worth breaking, but is it worth the consequences? I would love to go in the bank and take. Take some money. But is it worth me? And it wouldn't be for myself. It would be like to help out.
I run a red light. Or don't register and get a Louisiana driver's license, or don't worry about it. Well, I didn't know officer that was in Baton Rouge making laws that they told me I could not speed. I mean, you gotta be logical in what you're telling people.
Yes, Carly. Yeah,
but so don't go and rob a bank.
Yeah, I would like to get with you guys about the caller, like 2 callers before talking about getting people to run for office, this and that. But you know what's the baddest thing in our community? Is the voters turnout. I have from Acadiana area to St. Martin Parish to St. Landry Parish, I have every registered voters from white to black and the percentage that votes every election. It's so sad that I'm going to speak on the black community because I'm black and I've been around politics all my life. I never ran for office, but the saddest thing about the voters turnout every year, and people want to complain and talk about this and that. People died and got beat and fought for that right for us. It's a privilege for us to go vote and put the right people in office. But you know what? We don't. We're lazy. We're lazy black people. We don't vote. It's a shame. They always want help and want to hand out. Just like what's happening in the black community today, black on black crime. Here we sending billions of dollars to Ukraine. And we're not putting the money in our black community because the devil is attacking our kids.
And that would be white on white crime. And
it would have been a different situation, or even blacks killing whites.
Yeah,
it's been a different situation.
Completely different.
But you know what? Here we and I'm like that too. So I'm speaking for myself and everybody else. We talk about it, we argue, but we don't practice what we preach.
Okay, and I don't know who you are. You say we could call you. You want to give me your well, no, don't give it to me now. But just call.
I'll give you. You know who I am. Y'all know me. They know me very well. And a lot of callers that's listening know who I am.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm sorry. I'm
find out. I can give you my number, I speak to. I have every elected official. I have governors. I have senators. People. I have all of them in my phone.
I'm gonna call you.
Just me going to war by myself ain't gonna make it happen.
Okay, thank you so much.
So I know two different things. So he's absolutely right. And I know when people are running for office, they have what's called demographers that look at all of the demographics and the numbers and all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. And you can print out all the lists, and they'll tell you don't even bother with certain people because they never vote. So he's absolutely right, and it shows like the percentages of the times that everybody does vote or they don't vote.
Pay attention to this other legal challenge going on in the city of Jeanerette. They had a big meeting last night. They want to recall the mayor of Jeanerette. My opinion is look like some Republicans or conservatives hating on the mayor. Mm-hmm. So maybe Dr. Williams and Mr. June Andrews are going to discuss that on the Friday show on Business to Business with June Andrews.
Okay, and I want to say this. Now y'all want to recall the mayor. You know, I remember a bunch of y'all mayors.
Always recalling mayors in Jeanerette, huh?
Yeah, but I'm gonna say something right now. You know, and you could take this to the bank. And you could cash it. I don't know what you're gonna get for it. But we had one of a Jeanerette mayor. Not only was he a pure. How could I say that? He loved liquor. All right, he loved liquor. He loved the casino. He goes to the casino and caught on video camera urinating outside the casino in a flower pot on the grass. Nobody never thought about trying to recall him. And
yeah, that was a news article too. Yeah, that's a factual thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
You could probably Google it and find it in the archives.
That's right, and you could go back and forth. One of our best mayor that we had in Generate, and the brother is a veteran. He did all he could do. The 16 JDC, they taking bring him up for charges. You remember that?
So it has to do with race a lot. You think? One was a black mayor, one was a white mayor who did
think or no. Don't let me start getting off on the top of my head.
Let's go back to the.
So for the caller before last, you talked about that bill. That's House Bill 556, and what it is they're trying to regulate ankle and wrist monitor companies. So that's what that is.
Oh, regulate the companies.
Right, and it has something in the article about if somebody tampers with the ankle or wrist monitor, that they were trying to put a fine on not only the company, but then also that person as well. So that's what they're trying to regulate.
In Louisiana, regulation means somebody else gonna get a piece of the pie, some money. That's
money. And it's not us. Caller, you have call it. Y'all gonna have to make your questions brief and to the point. You're on. You're on.
Good morning, Sister Khadija. This is Miss Street. I want to thank you for what you just said. Y'all speak no lies. And Brother Jay, when you do your program Friday, don't forget to speak on the recall of the mayor of Generate.
Well, we know that's Mr. June Andrews could be on Friday at 1:00, but Saturday morning, if I make it in, we'll hopefully we could discuss that on the People's Tech Show.
Well, I hope you make it in.
Yes.
And thank y'all for speaking on that this morning.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
It needs to be said.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Okay. All right. We are trying to wrap up with the callers and everything. Attorney Dwa, what would you like to say in closing? We have our next section is our candidates. You have Representative Blake Miguez, Hugh Andrew, and Miss Melinda Mitchell. They all running for Louisiana State Senate District 22. They all running for Louisiana State Senate District 22.
Well, thanks for running. Okay. Thanks for being bold enough for that. We have one caller.
Yeah, one more caller.
Okay, and that's
all
right.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Well.
Okay. Well, so as usual, if y'all need to get in contact with me, my number is 337-534-4020. Once again, 337-534-4020.
Caller, you got 1 minute, and I'm counting.
I'm not going to be the Sister Khadija. That disgrace mayor in Generate, drunken, alcoholic, was Arthur Verrett.
Okay.
Oh,
I
couldn't think of. You're right. You're right.
But it's been in the news. It's been in the Daily Liberian.
Right,
Daily Liberian.
Thank you so much. I couldn't think.
And how would y'all describe this show? Y'all,
good morning.
I have a real crash.
Right.
Comment.
Yes, go ahead, ma'am.
If you recall back when T.K. Alexander was mayor and they arrested him.
That's T.K. Alexander.
He offered somebody a job. So maybe next week when Attorney Dwa comes, she could tell us about that.
Okay.
Have a blessed day.
I'm gonna tell you about it because
it's been in the news. We could read it in the archives of the Daily Liberian.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna mention it up. That's information.
We're not gonna get anybody no more in trouble because we almost went down a troubled lane on a controlled crash radio and television show because we live on AOC Community Media. That's Cox 15. So we're reaching a potential wide audience.
Well, I will see y'all next week. I will get out of the way for the candidates so that they can talk to y'all about their forums.
Yes. And your telephone number, Attorney Dwa?
So it's 337-534-4020. Once again, 337-534-4020. See y'all later. Have a great week.
Yes, you too. Thank you so much. All right, Brother J, can you go to a song?
It's Summer, and it's hot at KIEE 88.3 FM, your superstation for South Louisiana. We have the hottest talk and informational shows on the air, heating it up for the community. Tune in every Wednesday for the Open Line radio show with Brother Jay and Sister Khadijah. Tune in on Fridays for Business to Business with Mr. June Andrus. On Saturday morning, educate and get informed on the latest technology and entertainment news with Brother Jay on the People's Tech and Entertainment Show. Yes, it's hot and it's summer, so stay cool with your favorite talk and informational shows here on KIEE 88.3 FM, your superstation for South Louisiana. Listen online. Go to KIEEFM.com. That's KIEEFM.com.
All right, summer's here. Let's all cheer. For music and fun in the sun, tune in now. Don't miss out on our radio show, Let's Go. With beats so hot you'll never stop, dancing to the rhythm of the night. So come on down and gather round for a summer of music and delight. Summertime and Me with 88.3.
I'm New Iberia City Councilman and local business owner, Marlo Lewis. Parents, it all starts at home. Enough is enough.
I'm Lieutenant Cassie Duyon with the New Iberia Police Department. It takes a village, and it's time our community comes together.
I'm here to lend my voice to the community program to stop the gun violence. No more silence, stop gun violence.
No more silence, stop gun violence.
No more silence, stop gun violence.
We are interactive and live. Call us at area code 337-534-0036. That's 337-534-0036. On the Open Line Radio Show on KIEE 88.3 FM, your superstation for South Louisiana.
We want to remind you that the Open Line Radio Show is powered by Finders Keepers, 1006 Surrey Street, Lafayette. The Open Line Radio Show is heard exclusively from 9 to 11 a.m. every Wednesday on your community superstation for South Louisiana, KIEE 88.3.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. The one and only. Then got a picture in the frame. When I look at it, it brings me so much pain. Then I see your face and you fade away. I still go to the spots we used to kick it, babe. Hoping to run into you, yet all I'm having is vivid illusions of you. Lord, I don't know what to do. I'm so confused, this is getting to me. I saw your face, you wasn't there.
Yes, and I'm not seeing the meters. Running. I'm not seeing the meters. Okay. Are we on?
Yeah, we on, and I don't want you pulling that stunt, Sister Khadijah, since you come back and have everybody mad at me say I'm pulling your mic down.
Oh, no, they shouldn't have to worry.
I got me a lawyer right here. They
shouldn't have. All right, okay. Thank you, baby. They shouldn't have to worry about you on no mic, pulling my mic down.
It's getting rough and it's getting hot in here. You hear our new promo. We certainly had some hot callers on that first half, but we're going to segue into this a great segment.
Okay. All right. We have 3 candidates that's running for district number 22, and but customarily for Louisiana State Senate District 22, that's included Lafayette, Iberia, St. Martin. Lafayette, Iberia, St. Martin, and we sent out a letter to each one of the candidates, and to come in and respond, or let us know what your platform is and everything like that. We send that out, and so far, well, we have Miss Melinda Mitchell. I'm so used to I'm former mayor of St. Martinville. I'm so used to calling you mayor, but
she still could wear that title.
Yeah. Hey. She got me with that Lawson Act, and I'm like saying, my, that stays in my mind because that you were right on point. And this afternoon, from 1 to 2 p.m., the candidates is going to be on. Representative Blake Miguez, Hugh Andrew, and former Mayor Melinda Mitchell will be on from 1 to 2 on AOC. You will be welcome to tune in, and it's nothing like seeing the candidates on TV, or you could call in and ask different questions. Okay, former mayor of St. Martinville, you wore the title really good. Tell us a little something about what you was doing in the past year or so.
Yes. Good morning, listeners. Thank you so much for the welcome, the warm welcome, the invite. It's always a blessing and an honor to be here. So, yes, again, my name is Melinda Mitchell. I am the former mayor of the city of St. Martinville, and it was such a great privilege to be the mayor, to serve the people of the city of St. Martinville. But as we move forward, I have been called to run for Louisiana State Senator, District 22. So I'm excited about that calling. And if I can just tell you a little bit about after the election of 2022 and what brings me here today. I'll be brief for the sake of time. So I did return back to school.
Yes, ma'am.
I had a few hours left. I did finish my hours, and praise God, I graduated. I received my master's degree in business.
Congratulations.
On June 11th.
I said it a while back. I see it again.
Yes.
Yeah, you sure did.
I have received my master's. It's such a blessing and honor. I'm also currently a first grade teacher. I work for the St. Martin Parish School Board, where I can pour into the life of many first graders. Their little minds, they're our future, and just to build that foundation. So I'm grateful for that. So what takes me to the Louisiana State Senator, I always say I was late coming out, but it's never late. It's sometimes delayed but not denied.
Okay.
Unfortunately / fortunately, I did lose my dad around the Easter holidays.
Yes,
and I'm saying fortunately because I know where he is, and I'm grateful that he's smiling.
Yes.
Unfortunately because I do miss him here in the natural. So a week before he passed away, he knew I wanted to run for senator, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it this term or next. So he calls in a family meeting. In his sickness, he says, I want to let y'all know that Mel will be running for Louisiana State Senator. So he pretty much announced my candidacy to my family, and I'm in awe. So that was bring me here today. So I was able to launch off and announce my candidacy via social media on Father's Day in honor of my dad. Okay. So I'm excited to move forward and just asking for the support, the prayers, and I'm here to answer any questions, share my platform as needed.
Yes, and part of your platforms, when it comes down to when it comes down to talking and showing the different. You had took us to the governor's mansion.
Yes.
Okay, so will you still be able to do something like that, like in the upcoming? When you would win, okay. Would you be able to do that? Like take a tour to the legislators? I think people need to know what is a House bill. How do you get a House bill to be heard by all of the different representatives?
Awesome. So before I answer that question, I want to first say thanks to all my followers, all those that share and went viral on Facebook, just getting the word out. I want to say that. So yes, so being a senator is pretty much, we learn the different branches of government. You have the executive, you have the legislative, and a judicial branch. So as the mayor of the city of St. Martinville, I was the CEO of the city. So I was the executive branch where I didn't make the laws, but I had to enforce the laws. And unfortunately, that's where some of the struggle came in with the charter and the veto. And I'm grateful that we were able to win the veto for the people. So now the mayor of not only the city of St. Martinville any other municipality that had that same charter, now their mayor can veto. So I'm grateful for that. But now moving into the Senate position, I would actually be the legislative branch where I'm actually making the bills and being able to assist other representatives and senators where we can be the legislation government of the governor himself. So the responsibilities of a senator includes passing bills on public policy matters, setting levels for state spending, where you talk about spending the taxpayers, the budget, raising and lowering taxes would be some things that I would be responsible for, and voting to either uphold or override the governor's veto. So that is part of the job of the senator, and of course advocating for your people in your community.
Right. Well, is minimum wage included on that? How do we get minimum wage to be increased?
Yeah, so that's one of the things that I would be able to advocate for. Especially with economic development, we see numbers goes up, food, grocery, gas, everything goes up, but the minimum wage, the wages doesn't go up, unfortunately. So that's something I, as senator, can bring to the table and advocate and meet with fellow senators or representatives and say, look, this is what we need to do for the people in our area. And again, District 22 includes Lafayette, St. Martin, and Iberia. It's not the entire parish, it's parts. So if the callers, listeners want to call me in, I have all the list of precincts. I'll give my information, and we can make sure that they definitely in that area.
Right. Well, one of the questions I want to ask, and I'm going to be honest and upfront with you, and I say that on many of my radio shows, and I don't want the callers holding me feet to the fire. When you have a person running for office, I have a litmus test of question, and I know it's too long because you initially introducing yourself to the audience. But one of my main concerns about the state of Louisiana, and I have to be a realist, the dismal numbers when it comes to negative statistics, whether it's economics, whether it's health. You can read those numbers, whether it's education, whether it's the environment. What would you do as if elected into the Senate to advance some positive change in the state of Louisiana? What would you look at? Would you look at from a constituent such as myself, if I happen to be in your district, would you look at what I'm saying and say, look, these numbers are bad. They've been bad consistently for years. For us, education, 48 or something like we run in the race with Mississippi.
Yes.
What would you do as a legislator, your part in working with others to change the dynamics of Louisiana? I'm sorry, dismal numbers, and they've been written about in all different platforms and think tanks and educational circles.
Yes, so that is an awesome question. So yes, unfortunately, Louisiana is last in many things, and first in things that's not like gun violence. We're second with the death rate of gun violence. So of course you want to raise awareness, put the word out, do my homework to strategize and find out why are we last in this and the other. Meet with other state officials and find out what are they doing. Inform and educate. So it takes me to part of my platform as far as education. And we know that recognizing education issues is very important everywhere. So as your Louisiana State Senator, I will advocate to promote higher quality education for the state of Louisiana and as citizens in Louisiana. So it starts with education and making us aware of what's really going on and how can we together utilize it and push things forward for the betterment of our people in Louisiana.
And as in so much as far as influence on elected officials, lobbyists, and I'm a big proponent of not letting the lobbyists run things. If they have some best interests for the state of Louisiana, all right, let's see what the lobbyists say. But lobbyists have somewhat of a negative effect on the state of Louisiana because the perception out there, even around the world, that Louisiana is being influenced by these lobbyists who get tax breaks for their businesses, get tax breaks for certain special interests. But the ordinary citizen it has to suffer through these decimal numbers. insofar as a lobbyist, how would you deal with people who come at you with some issues and ideas that they want you to advance for them?
Right. So we know the lobbyists are out there to promote and to make money. But at the end of the day, we have to be transparent with the people. Know who you are, know what you stand for, stand for righteous, even if you're the only one standing. And I have experience, even as mayor, it was many times things came across my desk that in my integrity that I felt that was not right. So know who you are, maintain your integrity, be loyal for your people, respect, and stand up for what's right for the people at the end of the day. And don't be swayed, especially for personal gain. At the end of the day, it's about you're there, the people are electing you to represent them to the best of your ability.
I really think lobbyists need to get a D-. And that's coming from me because, to me, they don't do what they should be doing for the people. We have a caller. Caller, you have a brief question or comment? You're on. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go and ask my question. What are your top 3 concerns on your platform? What is your top 3 concerns on your platform?
So jobs in the economy, the economic development, crime and gun violence, and also education. That's 3 to name a few. There's many, many more, but that would be the top 3.
Okay, can you say it again?
Yes, jobs and economic development.
Okay.
Gun violence, controlling gun violence, and safety of our citizens, and also education. That would be the top 3, but there's so much, many more, but that would be the top 3.
Oh, okay. I think we need to share that with all of them, so they be on the same wavelength with your platform, so that we could make things move. Now, I do have a brief statement I need to make right quick. But before I make that statement, I wanted to say, do you have any type of favoritism? How they call that? I mean, you're a Democrat, you're a Republican.
Political affiliation?
No, I don't mean political affiliation. I mean, but do you have a problem working with the radicals?
Well, you want to work with people who are going to work with you on the interests that going to help your constituents, the people that put you there.
Okay, exactly. So I am registered as a Democrat, but we know at the end of the day, being a child of God is all about the people. It's not about Democrat, Republican. We all have to work together and unify, no matter race, gender, creed, religion. We all serve the same God. So at the end of the day, it's not about Democrat or Republican. It's about what's the best interest for the people to move Louisiana forward.
I know there's a large cadre of independents. I can declare on this show that I'm a registered independent. And and there's going to be a fight in the state of Louisiana for the independent groups. Will you reach out to groups like that, to people who want, just take a look at it? And I'm not an independent because I'm looking at the other party. I'm more of an independent because sometimes I think the Democrats, they don't roll hard enough for our interests. I applaud the 2 young brothers. I say it over in Tennessee, who stood up. 2 Democrats, 2 young brothers who stood up. And I wish my wish for the Democratic Party, I'm saying is I shouldn't be going into your time. They should fight, even if you have a supermajority, because you'll be working with a conservative group of people who are different from what our ideology is, or what we want. Right. And how you would convince them to look at what you're saying.
Correct. So just giving statistics, right? There's a total of 39 senators in the Louisiana senator seat. And as of now, there's 12 Democrats and 27 Republicans. But again, it's to just be who I am. Right. Be transparent with the people and share my ideas. Again, I can very well say that I'm now experienced. I had an open door policy as the mayor. So many people came across my door. But just to be that great listener and be able to deliver it to the state capitol and have my facts to back it up and let them know, to be of influence, why we need to get this moving or why we need to not get it moving. Just the transparency and to win them over.
Yes, and I also have to clarify something that I did send a letter out to Blake Miggies, Hugh Andre, and former Mayor Melinda Mitchell. I did send out a letter, so they all were invited here. Caller, you have a question?
Yes.
Question
yes,
or comment?
Yes, I have a question, and hopefully I'll get a comment. I'm getting on the show a little bit late, but I wanted to, first of all, congratulate Ms. Melinda Mitchell on having the courage to go ahead and run for District 22, the senatorial race. I would also like to expound on the fact that, what can we do as grassroots people that can help her campaign out maybe she's already spoke on it already, but maybe she can kind of elaborate a little bit more if she doesn't mind. And at the same time, I did hear the comments about lobbyists and what have you, and that's basically my concern. Louisiana has always been a state that finishes first in all things that are bad and last in all things that are good, and those are done because most of our politicians are paid. And so I would like to hope that we as grassroots people can assist her in furthering her campaign. So I'd like her to go ahead and elaborate and let us know what we can do to help her and to assure that the everyday common people will be helped by her winning that position as that state senator, rather than having the strong-arm, heavy donors who control the state continue to control the state. That's my comment and my question.
All right, thank you. And we're going directly to the next caller. Caller, you have a question or a comment?
I have a question for Miss Melinda.
You on?
Yes, Miss Melinda. Thank you for taking my call. With all that's going on about the gays and the transvestite and everything, what is your stance on the gay and lesbian community? Are you going to back all these bills that they're doing to either stop? I don't understand what they're doing, but are you going to be backing some of these bills with the gay and lesbian community?
Thank you, caller.
Awesome. Great questions. I'll go to the first caller. And your question, what could you do to help? What can the listeners do to help? First, help spread the word. That would be awesome, to spread the word, to share our message, whether it be social media, tell your family, friends. Definitely to volunteer. We need you to join in with our dedicated teams, if you could, and we'll give you some contact information on how you can call in and be a part of it. And also to donate. We do need endorsement, no matter how big or small your endorsement is. We know it takes funds to run a effective and efficient campaign. So definitely to donate and to work together. So I appreciate that. And again, as we get further in the show, I'll give some contact information on how you can do such. To my second caller. So I know the word as a child of God. You know, the Lord say he put a woman and a man. Is to each his own. I don't go judging anybody, but I will not be in support of gays because I know what my Father has spoken, a woman and a man. He didn't put two women together nor two men together. So at the end of the day, I'm going to stick with my integrity, with my belief in the word of God. Again, not to judge anyone, to each his own. All I can do is just pray that God open the eyes of anybody who's gay. Again, I'm just going to stick to my room. I will not support gays.
Well, let me say this in defense of what the bills, what I think they are. They're more to give them protections under certain situation, whether it's medical or whether it's certain rights. And I really don't, and I understand how people, when we get the information, we think it's something that's going to hurt somebody, but it's more a protections of people who have that lifestyle like everybody else. And what that becomes a wedge issues where the conservative agenda want to use that to rally their people to go against using those people, using their situations to make that an important issue to get their people out to vote. So we got to do our homework when we have those type of bills. They tapping down all these bills, even the thing about the library with the gays and stuff, so forth like that, and the transgender and so forth. But on a global level, it does not have nothing necessarily to do with everyday citizens. It has more to do with protections and lifestyle for these people. So when we get caught up in that, they want to put us in a box and put politicians in a box, you know.
Right.
So,
but I'm gonna be honest, you know, that's
I know on a spiritual level that's a different thing.
But from a spiritual level, because that's who I am and that's who I represent. You know, I love everybody. I'm not here to judge, but at the end of the day, I know my belief.
You notice what they're gonna do? They're gonna do that to Democrats and say liberal, progressive people. They're gonna put that in their corner and use that as a litmus test to get other people not to vote for you.
Correct.
So I'm not going to let them interject those type of conversation into the real stuff that's going on in Louisiana. So that's just me, you know. That's just you know.
It's time to it's been time to raise the minimum wage.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
An announcement Mr. Johnson, he said, feed the children today, Tuesday and Wednesday at the West End Park at 11:30 a.m. They're going to be feeding the children. That's going to be sponsored by Rosalind Bob and Robbie Carrier.
Shout out to our two callers. Guests, Robbie and Miss Bob, been a guest on this Open Line radio show.
Right, and Life Grief Support at West End Park tomorrow at 5:30. Life Grief Support at West End Park tomorrow at 5:30, and that's was dealing with the killing of people that have lost family members, children, and everything through gun violence, and they try to through violence at all. They try to support each other. Today and tomorrow at 11:30 today. There's going to be Feed the Children, sponsored by Rosalind Bob and Robbie Carrier. And tomorrow at the West End Park in New Iberia, Louisiana, you have Life Grief Support at 5:30 at the West End Park.
What is Mayor Melinda, like I'm affectionately call you all the time?
Yeah.
I remember you estimated. What is the most important issue that motivated you to run for Louisiana State's Senate position in this district? What's the most important issue that you see?
Okay. So, and that's an awesome question. So the most important issue is when I see the injustice and I live through it as mayor, it made me want to run higher. Yes. To be able to advocate for the people, to say it's time to stop the injustice, be transparent. There is a law that we all need to follow. No matter what it is, nobody exempt from the law. So we need to push for it, go for it, and just follow the law no matter who we are. So because a lot of the injustice that we see here in the system, in the governmental system, that makes me want to be a part of just being truthful and righteousness, knowing that we make mistakes, nobody perfect, but to live and learn from our mistakes so we can grow our great state of Louisiana.
All right, and Carly, you're on. You have a question or comment for former Mayor Melinda?
I just want to say congratulations to you, Melinda. You are doing a great job, and guess what? One job closed and another one open, even greater.
Amen.
So continue doing the work. I'm not in your district to vote for you, but just know you are doing a good job, okay?
Thank you, Carla.
Yeah, thank you, Carla.
You have a blessed day.
You too.
Thank you.
All right. So Louisiana State Senate District 22 that encompasses Lafayette, Iberia, St. Martin. So it's a line that you look at and it tell you you can vote for you or you can't.
Yes, that is correct. So it's broken down by precincts. St. Martinville has 34 precincts. Iberia, I want to say, has 57. Don't quote me on the number, but Lafayette has the largest. So it totals almost 19,000 people. That's including children, less voters, but including children. So it's a very big area. Unfortunately, I know I won't be able to knock door to door like I did as the mayor. But we plan on sending cards, push cards, mail outs. My sign's going to be coming up. They'll see my signs, but they can contact the listeners. They can contact me any questions. I'll be visible at many events. If you have an event you want to invite me, please call. I don't mind coming and sharing my platform, being there for questions. Just, I'm here at your leisure. So do reach out. If you don't tell me, I won't know about it.
If elected, Mayor Melinda.
When?
Khadijah something else. Now you're throwing me off. If elected, what would you do? The controversy now on the national level is the district, the way they are drawn in the state of Louisiana. Now that Alabama in the Supreme Court did the test where they opened up the situation where Louisiana can elect more national representatives, such as the congressional district, and the redrawing of the maps. Right. Would you support drawing the maps would be favorable to having 2 more elected African American or people of minority or people of color, or maybe just some Democrats, because there might be some white liberal Democrats. I'm just saying, I'm not so much a conservative favoritism, but I know I'm throwing you a loaded question there.
That's good. No, I needed to hear that. So I'm glad you brought up that issue. And again, it's just about being fair all around. Right. Let's not just draw up maps for favoritism. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad you say that, because I'm going to say I had a conversation with an elected official when I announced my candidacy. And the elected official told me that the position that I am running for is set up for a white man. Mm-hmm. And my thing is, just be honest, first of all, but let the people choose. Mm-hmm. So I took it as a discouragement, but it really made me want to run even the more. Okay. Because, it's not about white or black. It's about the people as a whole. So I'm going to push forward my campaign. I'm asking everybody who want to be a part of it to come on board and just make it equal. Draw the lines equally, not for favoritism. I know a lot of times they look at numbers because numbers speak truth, but let's draw it equally and let the people be the voice. We work for the people. The people, majority, they come together. Again, no matter what color, gender, creed, religion, come together and say, you work for me, and this is what I want you to bring to the state capitol. And I want to be that voice to hear the people and bring it to the state capitol to continue to advocate so we can have a better place, as I say, to live, work, and raise our family.
Yeah, because, the Supreme Court said that Alabama, the way they drew the lines, and similar to what Louisiana has hurt minority communities. And this is the concern also. I forgot to open up with that question. So,
and it was said that District 22 was drawn and redistricted last year for a white man. Wow. But you know what? My God is able, and I tell you what, I'm just trusting him that there's going to be a change. This will be history again. Yeah. St. Martinville being the mayor was history, and I believe it's another historic moment. But of course, I can't do it by myself. I need the voters to come out, vote, vote, vote. Make sure you're registered. Make sure your family members is registered. Qualification is August the 8th through the 10th. Election is October the 14th. Write those dates down. Again, there will be voters registration drive. If you have any questions, you can give me a call. My number is area code 337-256-1736. You can look me up on Facebook, social media. I'll be doing lives. I have a whole bunch of information.
You have a website?
My website is in the making.
Okay.
So I'm going to go on and list that hopefully when I come back on the show. It's in the making, where people can go to the website. They can see, read up on the platform. But follow me on Facebook. Inbox me. I will return your call. I am here to work for you. And I'm just asking you to give me this opportunity. Everything starts with an opportunity. If you can just give me this opportunity to go to Baton Rouge and advocate, I will be the best senator that I can be, working at the best of my ability.
Yes, that's ideal. Wow. And if you need a lobbyist.
A lobbyist. You were trying to use that word to say something else. You better stop that.
Yes,
you got something against lobbyists?
No, I ain't got nothing against them. I just want them to pack fair. Do it for all the people, not just because of your shakedown. And we invited Representative Blake McGee's, Hugh Andrew, and former Mayor Melinda.
Who is the president?
Let me finish.
Who is the president senator in that district right now?
Senator Fred Mills.
Okay. That's all I want to say.
So Senator Mills has been termed out, so it is an open seat.
Yes, okay.
It's an open seat.
That's what I was missing.
That's what I'm missing too. Yes. Is that the one that used to do them Couillon commercial?
No, not the Couillon, but the one.
Yeah. Very comical.
No, he's the one for the drugstore.
drugstore, and is that the one that did the
FM Bank?
The pregnant?
Todd Mills.
Yeah. Okay, that was him. Yes, Carla, you have a brief question or a comment. You're on.
Yes, good morning, Sister Khadijah. Good morning, Mayor Melinda.
Good morning.
Brother Jay. And I didn't get the young lady that's sitting next to the mayor name, but good morning to all of you guys. Mayor Melinda, I thought you did a beautiful job when you was mayor of St. Martinville. The question I have, what part of Lafayette that could vote for you?
Yes. So I do have the map. I broke it down. It starts with precinct 91 through precinct 127. So if you want to leave your number, I can definitely get your address, and I can let you know for sure. But it's precinct 91 through precinct 127. You can also call the clerk of court. Go Vote app is an awesome resource. If you type in your name and your date of birth, it'll let you know who's your current senator in District 22, if it's District 22. And if it is Senator Mills, that means I will be your candidate. So again, it's precinct 91 through precinct 127 in Lafayette Parish.
All right, great, because I want to try to be able to vote for you, because I thought you did an awesome job while you was mayor of St. Martinville. But of course, Hammerheads was all in the works with you. You know, they wanted to give you a part-time mayor job and the different things that was no good for a lady of your caliber. You know, so this is what I'm saying. You know, I got a candidate here that I'm supporting, but, you know, supporting you also, if I can, I will. You know, and anybody I know in the district that could vote for you, I will make sure that they have your name and your number and things like this here to make sure that you try to get to Baton Rouge, because I think you'd be awesome in Baton Rouge. You got a strong spiritual mind, and I could tell that in your voice. I know you personally because I didn't visit your office in St. Martinville when you was mayor. So if the people that you're trying to represent don't send you to Baton Rouge, something is wrong with them mentally. You know, and I thank you for taking my call. Sister Khadijah, appreciate you being back. You're looking well. Don't look like you was gone no time.
She's on TV.
You know? But I'm
good to be
God
back.
always take care of those that love Him.
Yes.
So thank you guys. Y'all have a blessed day.
Thank you. And thank you so much, caller. That speaks volume. So,
thank you, caller. Thank you, Brother.
I can honestly say from struggle came strength. The struggle that I did go through as the mayor, of course, I'm looking forward and not backwards, but it did make me stronger, wiser. It had me to do more researching, more networking. I was in Baton Rouge at the governor's office, LMA, different mayors, and that's the same thing I'm going to continue to do as your senator. I'm going to continue to educate myself, continue to ask those questions, continue to be a great listener, continue to maintain my integrity, and be loyal and respectful to my constituents. So thank you so much.
And this is just me talking. You know, I wanted to say, we were doing like a high fives when they brought your husband on TV about he stepped one place where he wasn't supposed to be stepping, or whatever the deal was. We were like high fiving, saying, now that's the way husbands protect their wives. That's the way that you show, look, you're not going to talk to my wife just any kind of way. She don't dress any kind of way, and I'm not going to have you talk to her any kind of way. And when I say we did the high five, I was at the beautician place, and we were high fiving when he came in. I want to send another special shout out to your husband, because y'all work together, and he protects his queen the way he's supposed to do.
And shout out to your husband, Brother Shaheed, Finders Keepers.
That's right.
Listening?
Yeah, that's right, Brother Jay. I think you owe something over there, but hey,
yes.
we want to thank everybody that participated. We have like 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes.
You want to wind it down or what?
Well,
since we have to. Tell people where we're gonna be later on.
Okay. So before you do that, can I just say right quick while we're saying shout outs? I want to say first, thank God for me being here, my family. And I want to give a shout out to my husband also, because my husband loves me with everything in him. And, you know, I always tell him he lost a rib from me, but he saw the struggle that the people didn't see. Even though I was on the outside smiling with the people trying to do my best, he saw my late nights up struggling on the computer, networking 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I think I know the passion and the love that he had for me. That's why, you know, he did what he did, but it was all out of love. He would not hurt anybody. Again, I want to say shout out to my husband. I thank him for that great, great support. I know it's not easy being in the public eye, even down to my family, but I tell you what, I'm grateful, and I thank all of you, everybody, just for your continued support.
Oh, we have a quick question. The entire family, you know, from mom, from dad, I mean, they welcome you with open arms and everything. And shout out to the number one husband. Yes. Yeah, shout out to the number one husband. We got a number two husband also.
Number two?
Yeah.
Who's number two?
My husband, you put it on. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I hung up. We had one question. God dog it, caller. If you call right back, you're on. Caller, you're on. He had.
Hey, Ms. Melinda, I just wanted to thank you for running, and I look forward to seeing your campaign unfold. I would ask that you consider protecting women's right to health care and access to abortion, and also the civil rights of the LGBTQ community. So, again, I look forward to your campaign unfolding. I'd also like to point out that Blake Miguez has personally put up $200,000 of his money to get elected to a job that pays around $30,000 a year. So, as a citizen of District 22, I don't want to see someone just purchase this seat. So, again, I appreciate you stepping up as a citizen and running. I look forward to voting for you.
Now, you said that he put up $200,000 of his own money for a job that costs what? Pays.
It pays about $30,000 a year. Not only that, but Blake Miguez went bankrupt in 2019. So I don't understand how somebody can go bankrupt with a bunch of vendors, and then now a couple years later come up with $200,000 of his own money to put into his campaign. And that's all public record. You can go look up, just Google Louisiana Ethics, go look up the documents, look up Blake Miguez's financial disclosures on the internet, and it shows that he put up $200,000 of his personal money, and through all of his businesses, these, kind of fake businesses that he has, these LLCs or whatever, he puts up $25,000 or whatever from each one of these, or $5,000 from each one of these businesses. He's funding this. He's trying to buy this Senate seat, is what he's doing. And so we as citizens should not allow a person like that, somebody that never really had to work, has his daddy's boat company, somebody just step in and purchase a Senate seat, a state Senate seat, which is very important. There are only like 38 seats in the whole state, and just take it from us. So it's absurd. As a matter of fact, all the signs on Hopkins Street in New Iberia, I would encourage everyone to call up or ask for a Blake Miguez sign. Put those signs out in your yard, make them pay for them, make Miguez pay for them, and then go in the voting booth and vote for anybody else.
All right. Thank you, caller. Thank you, caller.
Interesting comments.
You're the last caller.
Interesting comments.
Yes. I had to comment on this last caller, $200,000 in exchange for a $30,000 job. That reeks. And that's why we need to have honest people in the state of Louisiana. That says all that you need to say. I mean, nobody is going to pay $200,000 for a $30,000 job without having some unusual undercover kind of things being done. Yes. So I'm hoping and praying that Melinda Mitchell wins this seat, because I know she's an honest, hardworking person.
All right.
And that's my comment.
All right. Okay. We're going to talk it into existence. Remember, today from 1 to 2, live at AOC, we're going to have former Mayor Melinda Mitchell, Representative Blake Miguez and Hugh Andre, they all received letters to come in and give us their platform. So put it on your calendar from 1 to 2 today, channel 15. Thank you so very much. We are sorry we have calls out, but we've got to get out of here. Thank y'all. Thank you.